What's up everyone, my name is Pappis Doggy and I'm a Halo commentator, and video games are a pretty major part of my life. So today I'm going to share with you how a video game changed my life. But I don't think that can be attributed to just one game. If I had to really reduce it down, I would say that 5 games really changed my life. And I think that gaming just builds upon itself as a hobby, and therefore you can't necessarily attribute how gaming changed your life to just one game. And I also think that it's remarkable how the novelty of a game is really entirely based on what you've been exposed to. So, the first game I ever played, well, I don't actually remember what the first game I ever played was. I'm ashamed to admit that, but I don't. But the first game I ever played of my own accord, really, was some Mario Flash game on this website called Super Mario Bros. Online. At the time, I was 9 years old. Like, I had played video games before, and I had heard of them. I played them at, like, family and friends' house and stuff, but I had never really played them of my own accord. They were something I knew about, but just something I didn't really do. And then my friend introduced me to Super Mario, and he showed me this website with a ton of Mario Flash games, and I was instantly enthralled by them, because I just never really seen anything like it, and just having so many levels to complete and so many challenges to explore was just novel to me. So I was instantly hooked on these games, and they just really changed my life, because it was just a huge new hobby that I had never been exposed to before. Fast forward about a year, and then I discovered this online game called Super Mario 63, which again kind of shattered my gaming world. Basically, it's actually a pretty great online game. You guys should check it out. Just type it in the search bar. But it's basically a Super Mario 64 knockoff that's 2D. And now this completely shattered my world, because all the games I played before only had like 10 or 15 levels, and they were fairly simple and they were 2D. But this had a full-fledged storyline and had a ton of levels to do, had star coins. It's basically just like Super Mario 64, except it's 2D. So it completely stunned me, and I was again completely addicted to this game. Then I discovered another computer game around the same time called Star Trek, or it was Flash Trek Broken Mirror, and it's a Star Trek RPG where basically you start as a human with no resources, and you have to build up your starship fleet and take over the galaxy. And I was a huge Star Trek fan, so that was another novelty to me. So at this point, I was pretty content with these computer games, and I was finding them really amazing, until I played Super Mario Galaxy at my friend's house. And this game, again, just completely stunned me, because as you guys know, Super Mario Galaxy is just probably one of those innovative 3D platformers of all time, at least in my opinion. So this was just so much more complex than all the games I had played. It was mind-boggling. So at this point, I just had to have a Wii console, because I really wanted to play this game on my own. So it took my parents some convincing, because at the time my parents were against owning a gaming console. But eventually, I did get a Wii console. So then, when I first played Super Mario Galaxy, I probably played it for like 5 hours straight. And for the first thing, keep in mind, for the first time playing a console game, that's a pretty long time. And the next morning, I got up at 3:45 to play it again. I was so intrigued by it. So then, I played Nintendo games and Super Mario Galaxy for a while, and I was content with those until 3 years ago. I was introduced to Halo by my friends, and I had to get an Xbox, and then my parents were actually very opposed to me getting another console at the time. So then I actually wrote a 25-page essay to get my Xbox. They didn't prompt me, I did it of my own accord. So then I eventually did get that, and then I got Halo, and that is probably the game that has most recently changed my life, because there's just so many aspects to Halo. You've got the Forge, the multiplayer. Like, the second I got Halo, I wanted to be good. Like, I saw the Forge, and I actually did a ton in that. That was a really cool aspect to me. The campaign was a really cool aspect to me, because I loved science fiction. That's what initially got me interested in the game. But the second I saw the multiplayer, I'm like, I want to be good at this game. And that was really the part of the game that got me so interested, and Halo has been the longest lasting game for me. But anyway, I'm running out of time, so overall I'd say that the 5 games I mentioned are the ones that changed my life the most in a nutshell, and I think that Halo has changed my life the most overall. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you later.
Hi everyone, EliteAssassin here, and today I'd like to talk about a game that has very much changed my outlook not only on gaming but kind of on life in a way. Now, I've played a lot of games over the years, starting off with the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo when I was little, all the way up to present day. Now, there have been many games that have influenced me and kind of how I do things, what kind of games I play, what kind of modes I play. Halo 3 really changed the way I looked at games in terms of what a game could be. Because not only was Halo 3 a great story, campaign, and overall just a great multiplayer experience, but there were so many fun things that were shown to me with Forge, custom game options. It was just insane. When I saw Halo 3, the amount of potential in a game, the amount of things you could do with a game, in a game, were just opened up to me. Why would I buy a game that's just single player when, this game could do so much? Why can't every game be like this? But, throughout all the years, even though Halo 3 was such an impact on me and such a great time, it still pales in comparison to one game. The game that, I guess, looking back, probably kept me playing games up until I found the Halos. Now, of course, my friends might have eventually turned me on to Halo, but I don't know if I'd still be interested in gaming as much as I was if it wasn't for this game. And the game I'm talking about is Final Fantasy VII. Now, I was back, I think, in 6th grade when I finally got my hands on Final Fantasy VII. And immediately I was sucked in. Gaming up until then, for me, had been, beat these levels, beat the level, beat the game. And the enjoyment was beating the game. But 7 came and that kind of all changed. It wasn't just beat the game, beat the level. It was a game that drew you in, that made you care about the characters, that was addicting and fun. Grinding out the levels, getting materia, maxing the materia, getting more party members, learning their backstory, beating all the optional bosses. There was so much more than any other game I had played before. It was just crazy. I just always thought of games of just things to do as a pastime for fun. Just mindless, pointless fun. Yet, here was a game that had a story that just hooked me in. I'm not ashamed to say I cried when Aerith died. That generally caught me as a surprise as a young kid, and had an impact on me. This is a video game. This is something my grandmother says, you waste your time in those damn video games. But here I am, so emotionally attached to a character that I'm shedding tears because they died. That's weird. Gaming never was that. Who cared if you got a game over because someone died too much? It changed the way I looked at it. It changed what a game to me would be. I got so much enjoyment out of the story, out of the characters, that I kept looking for more games like this. And if it wasn't for 7 and for that experience, I might not have kept gaming, because eventually the kind of games I was playing, I might have got bored and just kind of burnt out of gaming. I definitely could see that as a possibility, but 7 introduced me to the JRPG genre, which got me hooked and kept me playing. And I met people who liked similar games, and I've now known some of those people for over 20 years now almost. So my best friend, Gland Survivor, Slucio, Survivor is Lucio Novum. You see on my channel's different gamer tags. But I've known him for over 20 years. His brother Shao Duex, my friend IndoSilver909, my friend Zeg Josh. These are all people who I met at that time frame. Nightmare 015, who you see on my friends list, a good personal friend I met through work. but over the common interest of Final Fantasy. There's just so much this game has done for me. The interest with this game has helped me meet some incredible friends, and the fact that I kept playing it, allowed me to eventually be on Halo, make this channel, meet all these awesome people in the Halo community. 'Cause I don't know if I would have stuck around, or, I know if my friends would have eventually introduced me to Halo and got me to play it, I would have been hooked on that. But I don't know if I would have even given it a second thought, I don't play games anymore. That could have been the path I went, but I didn't. And it's all thanks to Final Fantasy VII. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and hopefully see you guys next time.